are joined here today by guest Dana Mead from the Kahala group, which is a franchising group, one of the best out there, and also Terry Borton of America's Taco Shops, which is one of the best taco shops out there, soon to become the very best and most prevalent. So during this segment, we wanted to talk a little bit about the future of America's Taco Shop in conjunction with the Kahala group. And what ends up happening when you start franchising is that, as we talked about last segment, you need to become replicatable, duplicatable, which means that you can you can have each franchise location developed over and over and over. It's important for two reasons. One is so that you have a strong business model, but two, so that when somebody buys a franchise, they can get some kind of an estimate of what kind of return they might be able to get. If it's not pretty consistent, then people can cry foul and say, hey, you know, use a different type of sour cream in my franchise than they did in the other one. And so it does have to remain a lot the same. But Dana, when we talk about duplicatable and replicatable, scalable, what are the things that the Kahala group does from that perspective? And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about branding as well.
Well, we have to create systems so that, see, America's been creating these recipes in her kitchen for years and years. And before that, her mother did. And before that, you know, the grandmother. So their systems really have to do with their taste buds.
Yeah, right.
Try this, is it right? Yes. So that's not so easy to duplicate, you know,
Sure.
across franchisees and across the system itself. So we have to go in and systemize everything and make sure that the recipes are exactly the way America wants them. And that's a challenge. It's taken us a while, and it will with every brand that's franchised in the world. They have to go through and they create those systems. So we've spent the past year doing that, and America and Terry have been such a huge part of that, that every recipe that's out there she's involved with. And once we then come up with the systems so that we can replicate them across the brand, we also have to, at the same time, look at the branding itself. And we have to make sure that our stores are easily recognizable. Mm-hmm. So whether or not you're in Dubai or Phoenix, you have the same look and feel. And as you can see with Terry's stores, it's a very much a taqueria type of atmosphere. So that when you walk in, and you know this, Kurt, you've been there many times.
Yes.
You feel like you're in Mexico, and you have the mismatched chairs, and the distressed concrete on the floor, and different pictures on the walls. So, how do we create that across the board over 1,000 units,
Sure.
or 2,000 units? That really translates to a more up-to-date look and feel. And so if you go into our corporate stores, and one is on the Via Dave and Shore right by the building, you'll see the new branding, and that's what we're franchising across the system.
Great. And as far as are you doing anything with the logo change, or is, okay? And so that comes into more like the golden arches, where like literally out of the corner of their eye you can actually recognize, I think there's McDonald's. So the corner, in fact, I can see it right now. The coloring, I could actually see that in my mind, but that's probably the old logo. What are some changes that have been made to the branding, and there's some reasons why?
Well, we have a very experienced marketing team, and they've worked on all the brands that we have. So they've come up with a new logo. It really takes the elements of the old logo, changes the color a little bit, and it's not too far from what Terry's wearing on his shirt right now. It's a little different,
okay,
but it's more streamlined and updated.
Okay, that's very good. And the nice thing, again, I want to bring out what you just said, that when you deal with a franchising company that specializes in this, their marketing team is literally down to the color to match the industry, to match the niche market that you're approaching. They do that market research so that when you come out of the box, you're going to catch people's eye, and again, have it become recognizable. Hence the simplicity is going to be my guess, that it becomes easier recognized if it's not busy.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes,
So-
and easy to duplicate.
You bet. So for example, how much cleaner can it be than the Golden Arches? So very simple. I'm sure there was an argument when they first started about something more complex, but it comes down to simplicity and it works over time. So, okay, great. And so now, let's say that, walk us through the experience, Dana, from the standpoint, and maybe both of you can share with the experience. First of all, you guys actually found America's Taco Shops, right? I mean, you actually went in and sat and ate, or what was the story of how you guys actually came about?
Well, Dan and Ernesto approached Terry, and Terry, why don't you take it from there?
I took the call from someone that I know, said that, Kahala was reaching out to see if we had any interest in taking America's Taco Shop from, at the time, our 3 stores, and then taking it to a much bigger platform, talking about franchising.
Sure.
And we sat, we listened. America and I both, I saw it a certain way, America saw it a different way. I think there were a lot of tears that were being shed by America. It's something that, the passion that she has, I have the passion too. She has it, I think, a little bit differently, because these are recipes that came from her mother growing up in Culiacan. She's the youngest of 6 children, and she was, I think, my guess is from the time that she was born till the time her mom had passed, she was by her mom's side as the youngest of 6, and everything that her mom was doing in the kitchen, America was there by her side. So when she came to the United States, she was only 13 years old, didn't speak English, full immersion, went to Camelback, went to ASU, became a school teacher. When we opened up the restaurant, I said, we're going to have to take those recipes that are in your mind, we're going to have to put them on paper. So she wrote all the recipes as the way a teacher would write recipes, not a restaurateur or a chef would write them. So we've evolved, and Dana had mentioned about those systems, but we just asked ourselves the question is, taking something that we put so much time into, the passion into it, and we felt very, very comfortable sitting in the room with everybody from Kahala that they're going to take and feel that same passion, and we've been nothing but happy since, the day we met.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That is absolutely wonderful. And so Dana, then, from your perspective on the intake, when somebody says yes, like Terry, so what's the process of taking a company to where you want them to go?
Well, you line up the right people, and fortunately, we have a great experienced team. We've been at this for a while. You line up your operations team, and you make sure that they go through and then systemize everything that happens in that store. You get your branding team together to create the brand, and then you get your franchise development team together so you can grow the brand.
Right. And so there's a lot of sales involved. You find wealthy people who want to invest. That's another good thing about having a well-established group. They already know potential investors, potentially even, I don't want to misspeak, maybe hedge funds, just people to invest. That's probably the best way to say it.
We have all kinds of investors in really all brands. We have the mom and pops who want to own the one store, the retired policeman who wants to own a restaurant. We also have multi-unit franchisees of other brands and big brands, and as well as folks who want to back financially and not manage themselves, but have us manage for them. So we offer that as well.
Absolutely. And then the other important thing, and why I have to definitely endorse the Kahala group, is that the success of taking some other locations like the Cold Stone Creamery and taking them big, to be able to take when they approach you, there must be something of value in you, or else they wouldn't be talking to you. So if you ever do get approached by the Kahala group, normally the answer should be yes. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing with us what that should be like. Here at the end of the segment, we actually do have a gift that we wanted to give. We often give flowers, but I wasn't able to get by Glendale flowers, but I was able to go by Crescendo. We have a demo phone for a VoIP Cloud phone. Are you familiar with what VoIP Cloud actually does? VoIP Cloud does not need a phone line. You just plug it straight into the internet and then it works. So it normally will save franchise models. I've got it close for the camera here. Normally, with franchises, it's kind of nice to not have to wait 30 days before you get a phone line in there. As soon as the internet's up, then you're up as well. Or if the internet's already there, then you don't have to re-provision. You just plug in the phone. Like literally, if I plug this into the internet right now, it would work in 5 minutes.
And let me tell you, is
Sure.
this called voice over IP?
Yeah, it's voice over IP.
Okay, then we have it in our newest location.
Okay,
See, I'm learning.
there you
Yeah,
go.
we
He's
have
getting
it.
there.
Yeah,
He's evolving in the
Yes.
technology. Now, for those of you who are interested, and then we'll go to break. VoIP Cloud is slightly different than VoIP. VoIP is often voice over IP to the wall, and then turns back into analog, and then it gets shot out across the analog lines. With VoIP Cloud, literally it could be anything. They actually partition the internet, and they do what is, I'm getting way too far into the weeds here, but they do quality of service. So essentially the packets are prioritized, the packets of voice data are prioritized and shot across the internet. About 5 years ago, the industry was probably, well, it sounded a little bit like Skype, okay? And the quality wasn't there, but they really perfected the quality of service. So now it sounds very much like any other phone. So anyway, that's you can plug that in, try it out. They'd love you, of course, to try it out. Since you're going to be growing, they'd love to grow with you. That's the ulterior motive.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you so much to all of our listeners, and also to Terry and Dana for joining us. We're a little bit long in our segment. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the future, and also how you might be able to get involved with the Kahala Group if you're lucky enough to be chosen. So don't go away. We will I look forward to tuning in with you again. This is Kurt Wilhelm from the Social Universe on Voice America.